On Martin Luther King's introspective, we're taking this day to look into what we call the dream. We just had a discussion off the air which was very intense, and it dealt with the fact of what our children are exposed to and the results of the exposure to these things at young ages. There was an issue of cartoons in the lives of children, in particular cartoons with relevant tendencies to take the minds of children on journeys which may be questionable. SpongeBob in particular. If we look at those things from the perspective of saying that a 4-year-old is duly indulged into repetitious watching of these cartoons, and someone is creating these cartoons, by that time that that young particular child is 13, in equivalence, I say, that in equivalence to watching SpongeBob, a 4-year-old will be right on point, on par, to be a porno watcher at 13 years old. Now, is this the dream? That we can sit our children in front of TVs and let them be educated by those who are making cartoons and commercials? Let's hear your opinion, 914-636-0110.
Remember, the dream could be someone else's dream for you to have SpongeBob.
There you go.
And that's been our problem. Someone else has had dreams for us to watch and listen to. Look at videos. Now, you look at the videos, what stops a young lady who wants to shake her behind? You understand? You're going to tell me most women are not going to do that? When you're not going to do the whine? You see? So it does matter when you show somebody something. It plays a great part of their life. Even later on in life, people got problems that they don't even associate with their parents or their father, their mother, or slavery. I hear people always saying it starts at home. But who ran your household? Who runs your house right now? You don't run your house. You don't own your house, and you don't own your car. You see? So you got people saying, well, it's a Democratic and Republican. Okay, so what happens when the Democratic get in there? Does he care about Republicans? Does he change his mind and say, all of these are my people now? When you hated them when you was in combat? All the newspaper companies, who are they, Democrats, Republicans, or whatever? How do they slant their programs? Come on, we got to start thinking, man.
I think it has to do more with, instead of, in today's society, it's more of a individualistic approach. Everybody has a dream that they want to accomplish, and instead of looking at the cohesive issue that they face, right, that affects everyone, they're thinking about, well, where can I go in my life? Forget everyone else around me. I think it all has to do with finding a way to cohesively agree and unify ourselves on a dream, and then move together as one to accomplish that dream. Because unless we do that, we'll be faced with the same problems that we have today. Gangs, violence, black on black crimes. I mean, prejudice, racism. Everyone has their own part to play. And I think family structure is very important. If there's a strong family structure and the culture and way of life and the morals and values that have developed for an extended period of time from generations to generations, if that's passed down, then we can see ourselves going further than we ever thought. But as technology develops and as, capitalists exert their presence in society, we see a decline in culture. We see a decline or social progress. And that's a problem that I see every day. We talk about smartphones. We talk about, computers. Most of the times, these devices take the place of someone in that person's life. They are the ones that comfort them. You have an iPod. I've known many music addicts. And the reason that most of them that I've seen, the reason that they associate themselves with every musical device, DJs, whatnot, is because of the fact that they were longing for something while they were growing up. And music was their only outlet. Whether or not they were, singing or rapping, it was something that could comfort them in their times of loneliness. And it was there when they felt happy and excited to be, okay, fine, I've actually achieved something. But if we replace those devices with people who are going to help them with their growth, I think we could go a far way. It starts off with parents. It starts off with the elders. The elders are there because they know everything. I was talking to SOAQ about this the other night. I said, SOAQ, a lot of the elders that we have, they'll rather keep the information that they've, had based on experience than actually share it with the youth, because they find that the youth is a deterrent in and of themselves. They'll look at the youth as, they don't want to hear about this. They just want to know what's the latest rap video. They kind of put themselves in a position where the youth themselves really and truly don't know what they're missing. They don't see the problems. They only see what they can capitalize on. And that's the issue. If we can teach them and educate them growing up, like for instance, then we can find ourselves looking at a brighter future than we could have ever imagined. And the dream won't only be with Martin Luther King. It'll be elsewhere.
I want to add on that too. Part of the thing is, especially about days like today, I think sometimes when we sit and we gather, a lot of what we share becomes redundant because we talk sometimes out of frustration because there are missions that we share, the things we want to accomplish. But then after days like this go away, after it dissipates, and after Black History Month dissipates, and after Malcolm X's birthday dissipates, after all these things, what do we do for the 363 and 362 days of the year? And what happens is, I think there's something special that they're doing today. There's an MLK.org where the community is being an appeal has been made to the community to go online and register for organizations that are actually affiliated with the community and to get involved. And what happens is, even though there's a cry for family, there's a cry for parenthood, there is not the structure. So if we know that there's a problem, then who those who have been given the equipments, the resources, the tools, whether it's wisdom, whether those who come out of families like that, how then do we start to help? How do we not get up every day and just care about ourselves and go to work? How then do we, and then we have to do it, and consciously and often. Sister
Karima first, excellent, because you represent the 20s and younger, and you are right there, which means that somebody caught it, and there's a wall, and it's got to come down. And regardless if it's a 60-year-old punching that wall, a 4-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 9-year-old, that wall got to come down, and we got to see each other as family. And once we see the F in family, it's a wrap for a lot of other things. It ain't about me, it ain't about Fahim. Right. It's about us, and we're gonna break bread together. And this is the continuity of the dream. Nesta, Hotep, I'm glad that what you're saying. Nesta, I ride with you. Reason why I ride with you, because your word matches your action, and you speak existence into the young sisters and give them examples so that when they are put on a stage, they're not butt naked and barefooted and bare-minded. You put something in their brain. That's how we solve the problem. It's simple and plain. Knock this wall down, knock this wall down, knock this wall down, knock it down. Hotep, brother, we going into a break. We got Dr. Ross on the line. I know you there, Shabazz. Love you, brother. Hotep, you're coming after the break.